Last year we went on an NCL Mediterranean cruise that embarked out of Trieste, Italy. And before the cruise began, we flew into Venice, where we stayed for 3 nights. When we first flew into Venice, we proceeded through customs and then retrieved our luggage from the baggage claim area. While we were still in the baggage claim area, we purchased tickets at a kiosk for the water bus, which is also called the Ali Laguna. There were several kiosks located in the baggage claim area, but we later discovered that we could have also purchased tickets at the airport water transportation area. Tip number 1, before you purchase a water bus ticket, you'll need to look up which line color you need to choose based on your final destination within Venice. There are maps online with this information. I'll add a link to the video description of at least one online map. Our destination, which was the Hotel Abbazia, required us to take the orange water bus line. The kiosks in the baggage claim area allow you to choose either water bus transportation or a bus transportation. We chose the water bus because of the unique Venetian transportation experience. It was an easy 10 to 15 minute walk from the baggage claim area to the water transportation area. There were multiple signs that guide visitors in the correct direction. There are signs on the floor, there are vertical signs in the middle of the airport intersections, as well as overhead signs. So it's not impossible to get lost in the airport, but it would be difficult. There is an escalator at the transition from the airport to the water transportation area. You can also take one of the elevators. At the water transportation area, there are ticket booths for speedboats to Venice. There's also a ticket booth for water bus transportation. Depending on your final destination within Venice, you can choose between the orange, red, or blue line. Once we got in line for the water bus, we waited at least 30 or 45 minutes before we were able to board. There are a couple of different sizes of water buses depending on the line color. The orange line used the smaller of the 2 water bus sizes. Prior to boarding, there was a gentleman at the beginning of the line that punched and scanned our ticket to validate it. Once we boarded, some people were allowed to set their luggage behind the captain's chair, but I had to take my luggage inside the main cabin with me since storage space was limited. Tip number 2, if you get motion sickness easily, sit toward the middle or back of the water bus cabin. We sat in the front, and from this location, I was unable to view the horizon in front of the water bus, so I got a little queasy during the trip. Like many Italian cities, there was a mixture of ancient architecture, street vendors, gift shops, hotels, and many restaurants, and of course tourists. That brings up tip number 3. If you plan to visit and stay in Venice, try to be a minimalist and bring only what you'll need for your stay. I recommend only bringing light carry-on style luggage. We witnessed a few tourists with full-size luggage, and they had difficulty rolling their heavy luggage over the stone pathways and carrying the luggage over some of the bridges that are all over Venice. While in Venice, we stayed at the Hotel Abbazia, which was very close to the St. Lucia train station. We checked in our hotel in the mid-afternoon hours, and after cleaning up a bit, we decided to go on a short walk to explore part of Venice before it was time for dinner. This is the view of the Grand Canal from the Ponte degli Scalzi Bridge. I probably butchered that name. To the right is the Santa Maria of Nazareth Church that was built in the 17th century. And across the bridge to the left is the Church of San Simeon Piccolo that was rebuilt to its current condition in the 18th century. It's the one with the green dome. So there are many narrow streets in Venice, and it is easy to get lost. There are also many open squares like this one that include a capped well in the center. And of course, most of these wells are not in use today. We were on our way to the well-known Rialto Bridge when we came across several outdoor dining areas beside the Grand Canal. This would definitely be a great place to enjoy the Venetian environment and some delicious Italian cuisine. This is the Rialto Bridge. It was constructed during the 16th century and connects the San Marco and the San Paolo districts. It not only has a good view of the Grand Canal, but it also includes shops on top of the bridge that span the entire length. We also noticed on our walk that Venice is a very pet-friendly city. We saw this particular Weimaraner in a couple of locations on our walk. This particular bridge is a favorite among visitors, hence the large crowd. This particular square was rather unique. There was a statue of Carlo Goldoni, who was a well-known comedic playwright of the 18th century. Well, that wraps up our first day in Venice. If you want to see additional videos of our experiences within Venice, feel free to subscribe to our channel and select the bell icon so you'll be notified when we post a new video.